Scarborough Shoal dispute and China's nature reserve plan. So this Scarborough Shoal is over here in the South China Sea. This is the South China Sea. This region is South China Sea. Philippines has claims over it. It lies in the EEZ of Philippines, but China has, maintained claims over it as well. So China announced creation of National Nature Reserve at Scarborough Shoal now. Philippines strongly objected it, calling it a violation of its sovereign rights and environmental hypocrisy. Environmental hypocrisy means China has used methods to create such kind of islands artificially, and it can have multiple economic impacts, but now it is creating a nature reserve zone over there. So that is why environmental hypocrisy. This move reignites tensions in South China Sea. Already a zone of tension between China, Philippines, Vietnam, and further tensions can be there in this region. Location and geostrategic significance. Scarborough Shoal in Philippines, it is there. Panatag Shoal, Bajo, Masinloc, China calls it as Huangyan Dao. It is 200 kilometers west of Philippines Luzon Island, lies within the exclusive economic zone of Philippines, but China claims over it. It is located near key global shipping lanes, like $3 trillion worth of annual trade passes through the South China Sea. And that is why it has become important for China, because China exports a lot. So China is a key, I would say, stakeholder in this region. It is important for fishing resources, safe harbor during storms, and potential military outposts due to its central location it is. What is China planning? Creation of 3524 hectare marine nature reserve. Claimed purpose, ecological protection of coral reefs. But it did not think about these coral reefs while creating artificial islands in South China Sea. That is the hypocrisy. It covers northeastern side of the atoll, means the island, near the only large vessel entry point. And it is seen by critics as pretext for stronger Chinese control. If China is planning to build it, then it will weaken Philippines' control over it, and potential future militarization like it has done in Spratly Islands. Spratly Islands is also there in this region. Now, who claims the shoal? This is the big question. Philippines as well as China both claim this shoal, and the sovereignty is unresolved, means the dispute is there. De facto controlled by China since 2012 standoff between Philippines and China. 2016 Permanent Court of Arbitration ruling under UN clause invalidated China's 9-dash line. 9-dash line, we will see what 9-dash line is. It recognized Scarborough Shoal as traditional fishing ground and did not decide on sovereignty over the shoal itself. But 9-dash line claim of China was rejected. China ignored the PCA ruling. It did not accept or acknowledge the PCA ruling. Now, what is this 9-dash line? 9-dash line is here. These are 9 dashes, imaginary dashes, given by a Chinese geographer in the 1940s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 9 dashes, imaginary dashes in the oceans, and according to that geographer of China in 1940s, the entire area under 9-dash line belongs to China. Scarborough Shoal is over here, and it is, see how much close it is to Philippines and China so far, but claiming over it. Why? Because China's trade passes through this. And this is, Spratly Islands also disputed, Paracel Islands also disputed. The Strait of Malacca is over here. Strait of Malacca is the world's busiest trade route, and China's exports passes through this trade route a lot. So this becomes important. This entire region becomes important for China, and China is claiming 9-line was traditionally ours, so it should be ours also now. But International Court of Justice, or the Permanent Court of Arbitration, has rejected this 9-line, but has not testified that whose sovereignty is there on these, Scarborough Shoal. Why is this a flashpoint? The shoal is a symbol of Philippines' sovereignty and China's assertiveness. Increasing military and coast guard presence over there by both the countries. Frequent incidents like water cannons, boat ramming, all these happen. Aggressive maneuvers, aircraft shadowing, all these things happen. Acquisitions of maritime militia activities by China, are being done. So that is creating tensions in that region. Risk and implications. High risk of accidental escalation. So there is high risk of accidental escalation. Armed conflict is possible. Philippines under President Marcos Jr. is taking a firmer stance but has limited naval capacity. We have, exported BrahMos missile to Philippines, and Philippines became the first country to receive the BrahMos missile. Okay. US involvement, 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty now clarified to include attacks in South China Sea as well. Any attack on Philippine forces could trigger US military response, though it is kind of a collective defense agreement signed between Philippines and USA. So that kind of tensions over there can lead to direct involvement of US and China, and that is going to be devastating. Potential for international arbitration over environmental degradation. This environmental degradation and all this can be questioned. So these things are there, which are the implications of this. The main takeaway over here is the collective defense agreement between USA and Philippines. If USA interprets it as an aggression against Philippines, then USA will retaliate on that. International dimensions, part of broader China versus ASEAN maritime dispute. Philippines is part of ASEAN, and it is not only Philippines which is at conflict with China, it is other ASEAN countries also which are at conflict. US, Japan, Australia and EU have expressed support for UN clause based order. Whatever UN clause, United Nations Convention on Law of the Sea says, you have to respect that. And UN clause is that EEZ can extend only up to 200 to 250 nautical miles. And Scarborough Shoal is somewhere around 450 nautical miles from China and less than 200 nautical miles from Philippines. So technically, according to UN clause, this island or the Scarborough Shoal lies in the jurisdiction of Philippines. But that should be respected. This is what countries like US, Japan, Australia and EU are saying. Expert views. China's perspective, it claims to improve governance, protect the environment. Accusations against Filipino fishermen of illegal fishing over there in that region. Philippine perspective, Jay Botan Bakal labeled the move as a coercive tactic to criminalize Filipino fishers and legitimize China's occupation. So if that, reserve will be created, nature reserve will be created, so fishing will be regulated or fishing will be banned in that region. And when fishing banned, so Filipino fishermen, their livelihood will be impacted on one side, and on the other side, by proclaiming any area or changing or transforming any area over there in that island, Scarborough Shoal, you are extending your claims on that shoal. This is what needs to be understood. So China's nature reserve plan at Scarborough Shoal is not just an environmental move, it represents strategic maneuver. Strategic maneuver in the sense it will affirm China's authority and sovereignty over that particular island.